Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to talk quickly about some of the breaking news that's come out over the past sort of 48 hours. We'll start with Turkey Al-Sheikh. He announced that DAZN and all of the, I believe it's the Riyadh season cards, so sort of anything that Turkey is directly involved in setting up, like Ring 4 that's coming up, or like Ring 3 that we just saw of Zapata. All those types of events will no longer be pay-per-view. As long as you have a DAZN subscription, you can access it. So I'm sure Matchroom and Queensbury promotions will still be pay-per-viewed if there's a big card relating to them. I think none of it should be pay-per-view, but I just hope that they don't now try and cover all those losses with big increases in subscription. I know a few people that sort of have a DAZN subscription but don't ever sort of buy the pay-per-view. They have the DAZN subscription. They watch the free ones that happen 2-3 times a month, 4 times, however many a month, and they're happy with that. And for the big pay-per-view events, we might all get together and watch it or whatever. So I think they've got to be careful that they don't now price out just the people that have the subscription to sort of just casually watch boxing when it's on a Saturday or a Sunday. But I think the pay-per-view, I think Turkey knows what he's doing, because I reckon he looks at the finances and they probably would make not as much money, but they'd probably recoup a lot of money just having a DAZN subscription rather than pay-per-viewing it. With the amount of people that do illegal streams, they're probably out of pocket quite a bit of money. Alright, Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., that seems to be breaking down, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Sources have informed the Ring that both Riyadh Season and Seller are no longer involved in the rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Benn. Now, that fight happened for one reason, and one reason only: the amount of money that was thrown at it. Without Riyadh and Turkey, I don't see the same money being thrown at him, and therefore I don't see it happening, if I'm being honest. I think Benn's got a great opportunity at his natural weight to really run and try and take some belts and fight within there, because I think his stocks rose massively with that loss to Chris Eubank Jr. I think when you go up and fight someone so big and perform so well, you're naturally going to be hyped up. And he's still young. What is Benn now? Is he not quite 30? I want to say he's 28, but I'd have to check. I think he's 28, so he's got so much time to become a great fighter. Benn saying, "This rematch falling apart had nothing to do with me. I was ready to go on with the scheduled September 20th date. I'm not sure what happened to Chris Eubank." So I don't know whose fault it is. I didn't think it was Chris Eubank's fault either. But we're not going to know quite yet. As soon as we do know, I'll let you know the reason of which it's fallen apart. I'm disappointed. But also, the first one was so perfect. They were never going to replicate how perfect the first one was. Senior coming in last minute, the egg slap, and the fight didn't disappoint either. So, all in all, I think we just got to be happy with the first one, because it was brilliant. This isn't really breaking news, but I did notice the first sort of face-off between Pacquiao and Barrios. I wasn't really thinking about it until I saw it, just how tall Mario Barrios is compared to Manny Pacquiao. I'm going to put a picture up on the screen. I think it's a big factor. I've put it in my head now that I think that could be a big factor. When he's the older person and he's also now the lot smaller person, it's another disadvantage to Manny Pacquiao. I'm still on the side that I think Mario Barrios is going to get through him. And then, hey, maybe Mario Barrios versus Benn. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight at all. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury next year. We are trying to do it and thinking about it. I need to have each one have a tune-up fight first. Why? Because if they're both coming off losses, it's to build it up. Yep, Turkey Al-Sheikh spin facts there. No doubt this is the fight everybody wants to see. I didn't think anybody say that Tyson Fury deserves a fight with Usyk. Give them both warm-up fights. I don't really care who it's against. They could be schmucks. They could be anything. Just get these two big wins, build this fight up, and it is the fight we've all been waiting for. If I was to tip an early winner if this fight was to happen, I think most people would say Tyson Fury is going to go into this very heavy favourite. But Anthony Joshua is no doubt able to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and I don't think it would surprise too many people. I want this fight to happen. It's probably could be top of my list of fights I want to see happen for pure entertainment purposes only. This is another interesting thing to do with Anthony Joshua. From Turkey Alashake once again. Me and Jake Paul are thinking about doing a fight against Anthony Joshua now. If Joshua destroys him, it will be good for me. The headache of Jake Paul is finished. If Jake wins, I will know Joshua is finished and Jake deserves a ranking and future in boxing. I can fully understand. I'm not sure about the bit where he says I don't have to listen to Jake Paul anymore, considering that photo came out looking like they were all friendly. But I'm sorry if you can hear that noise, by the way. They've been doing construction work and all sorts next door, so apologies for that. Yeah, look, that's a great fight to put up. If Anthony Joshua destroys Jake Paul, like especially if he does what he did to Ngannou, I think we will no longer hear from the nonsense of Jake Paul, especially because he's not fighting Usyk. He's not fighting someone that's undisputed. He won't have the excuses. He's fighting someone who is in a really bad run of form at the moment. You know what I mean? He's not talking about fighting Zurdo Ramirez, who's on a win streak. He's not fighting Jai Opetaia, who's probably the scariest fighter in the world right now. He's fighting Anthony Joshua, that lots of people think is finished. I don't, but lots of people do. Alright, I think that is all the news for today. I'm going to try and make a video talking about Benn Rodriguez if I can get a chance to. If not, I'm just going to quickly talk about it now. Benn Rodriguez is fighting tomorrow against Fumilulu Kafu. I would expect Benn Rodriguez to win, although I don't like the fact that they've put a fight, proposed a fight that Benn Rodriguez is going to take later on. Let's deal with the person in front of us. Yeah, the Amo Williams fight that was supposed to be on the Benn Rodriguez card, from all sources that I have seen, has been basically cancelled with his opponent stepping out. So I'm not sure where we sit on that, but I will look further into it and tell you if I can get a video out to talk about the Benn Rodriguez fight. But big weekend of boxing. Benn Rodriguez fighting Alexander Usyk Dubois, Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Manny Pacquiao returns. The Towering Inferno takes on Tim Tszyu. Big weekend. I'll try and keep you all up to date with the action as it comes through. So subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like, subscribe, and I'm out of here, guys. See yous.